Hello, Cosplay. We're back with the various supplies and tools and equipment I use for my cosplay construction, because in my video I'll go through everything that is involved, but don't really cover in specifics what they are and what they do. So that's what I'm going to do in this series of videos, yes! Okay, so what we have here, if you haven't read, this is the Tap Plastics logo. A lot of cosplayers get their plastic from Tap Plastics or US Plastics, which is the common online seller. I got this because I got it with order and it was a deal, and this does not reflect the actual price I paid, but you will find if you buy it by itself, it'll be about $22 plus shipping and blah 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 blah. This was a bit cheaper. It was just from a different company that was reselling it. They're both well-done, produced. It's just a different label, maybe a new one, and I happen to like the new label because it has this work time thing, which is very informative for new people. I'm going to be tipping it over this way because I don't want any leaking out. So actually I like this too. Might switch this over to that. So what is this? This is glue for PVC sheeting. Now, I don't want anyone to get confused and think that this is the same glue that plumbers use. No, this is extremely different. I don't think the plumber's glue is quite so toxic. Having water run through this sort of glue with this might not sit so well with people. Yes, the rubbery glue that you see in hardware stores for PVC pipe is not the same. It's not even close to as good. No, it will, your plastic work will stretch and wiggle apart, and no, don't even bother buying it. You buy this online, trust me. There's a common confusion there. Now this is a liquid chemical bonding glue, as I've said a zillion times in videos, but I want to make sure it's clear in this one too, because I hope this to be a somewhat continuous, all-inclusive kind of video. Rawr, my word, good, not bad. Okay, so it comes in these tins right here. This is actually a reasonably big tin. Even some of my plastic distributors or manufacturers don't use this much this glue, so you can get the smaller one and be just fine. Some tips here when you're opening them is that they come with this wonderful little protective metal piece here, right? It says cut it out, but what I do is I take a chisel and I pop it out. In fact, here, I'm going to pull it out with some pliers. You're asking me, why is that in there? Why would you leave that in there? Well, this glue evaporates in the air. Yes, it evaporates in the regular old air. So to keep this stuff from basically disappearing and coming back to it in your garage a few months later and be completely empty, well, not completely empty, but you'll lose maybe a third or a quarter of the tin. I put this back in and try and seal it as best I can, okay? That's very important. And I also tighten this as best I can. It's got a little seal here, but not the greatest, to be honest with you. It works with other materials, but with this, it's not great. And something's going on with cats. Stop being crazy, cats! Every video, I swear, they're just running around being crazy. So there we go. Now, this is a lot of glue. The average, I guess, person uses a dropper. I've got a little millimeter markers here for this and that, and this is also a similar sort of dropper. But because I use this so much, I've invested in a syringe dropper. As you can see, it comes to a little point. It's not sharp at the point, it's blunt. So I can't really stick well, I guess I could if I tried hard enough, but I can't really stick myself with it, right? But that is because you need very, very little to actually get this to work. You only need just enough to make contact. As long as the glue is touching both parts of the plastic, that's fine. In fact, I'm going to put the rest of this back. I don't need that much for this demonstration here. And let me tell you, every single drop counts, and I'm going to tighten this as tight as I possibly can get, because when I squeeze it out, there's going to be pressure, and it can come out of this lid if you don't tighten it well enough. So yes, once I've gotten the glue, the amount of glue I need, I'm going to press that in as best I can, nice and tight in there. And I'm going to screw this on and nice and tight as I can, because I don't want any of this escaping in the air, aside from it being, you know, bad to breathe generally because, you know, fumes. I don't want to waste money. Yes. So here it says 1 to 2 minutes work time, 3 minutes fixed, and about 1 or 2 days, and it's at the strength it's probably going to be for the rest of its whatever, its existence. This is the kind of grid that you would see for construction working, say technical terms. So your work time is pretty quick. So you hold it, and it will be good in about 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes. If the more you use of this liquid, the longer time you have to work. The less you use, the less time you have to work. That's how it works. And at about 3 minutes, it's pretty much where it's going to be, and then 2 days later, it's at its optimal strength, as it were. There's a bar graph and it drops off as for math. Trust me. Your work. I think all anyone really cares about is the 1 minute work time, realistically. So as you may have noticed, I've got a tiny little wire in here. This is to keep it from getting dusty or anything from clogging it up, because this thing kind of sucks to clean out. If you get it too dirty, you're probably going to just having to buy a whole new one, which I have had to do in the past. Sometimes they come with a wire to clean it. Most of the time they don't. What I have found is I've gone to a jewelry section in a hobby store and found this incredibly fine jewelry wire, and that has been able to get into the syringe and clean it out, which is basically consisting of me going and scrubbing it sort of on the inside. You also want to make sure that your glue does not get contaminated with whatever dust, so the dust does not collect on the inside here and make it so it's not clean. Basic maintenance of a tool. But I would like to cover all of this. So I'm going to take out that little piece of wire now, and I'm going to put it right there so I don't lose it. It's so small, pretty easy to lose. Now here we have our PVC sheet, our plastic polyvinyl chloride, and so on and so forth. With this type of glue, it's a chemical bond, so you want to have as much surface contact as you can get. And to get that, I'm going to just put some clamps here. Alright, you can probably get away with just holding it for 30 seconds, that's all it really takes. And just a fine amount will do the job. In fact, I don't even think the camera can register like the small little itty bitty bit amount I'm going to be putting on here. There we go, just all of the edges you can. You can, but you don't necessarily need to like get it in between. That's not a huge deal with this because it's so strong. It's not that big a deal. So here we have it, and after, I don't know, 10 seconds, it's already kind of stuck, but you can pry it apart. You can see it. You can pry it apart and move it around a little bit, but as I'm speaking, guess what? It's pretty much set in place now. Yeah, well, there you go. And see, there we are. Once you have glued it down, I recommend letting it fully dry before you try gluing again, because what happens is the plastic kind of puffs up when it melts. That's what this glue is doing. It's melting the plastic and then it's melting it back together. It's like basically was it welding the stuff together? Yeah, weld on. It's called weld on. There we go. How does that analogy work for you guys? I'm gonna glue it to the other side. Oops. I'm gonna glue it to the other side where they have not had glue before. I'm gonna let that sit. That's pretty much it for the glue. Now, as you can see, I barely used hardly any. There's still plenty in there. So this is extremely cost effective, extremely strong. And if you're looking to work in plastic, this is the absolute, or if you're looking to work in PVC, I should say, this is absolutely the way to go with these, with this glue. I guess maybe if I really want to be super careful, I would wrap that in, I don't know, like electrical tape or something, just to see if it would seal better. But it's not that huge of a deal for me to care that much. Let's see if this is done. Boom. Yep, there we go. It's pretty much glued together. I'm not going to try ripping it apart like I did last time, but trust me, it's pretty glued together. Another reason why I like this is because of its really quick work time. It allows me to keep working rather than with other glues to have to let it sit and cure for half an hour, a day, whatever you may need. It's pretty much put the pieces together, stick on the glue, heat it up, shape it, whatever you want you need to do, then continue working. It keeps the workflow really high paced, and for me, I'm really happy with that. It does work with other plastics, but not as well. You end up with acrylics, you can get cloudy and stuff like that. But there you are, cosplayers. I hope you enjoyed this rant, and hopefully I explained this glue to the fullest extent as to why you should be using this and not other glues. Thanks for watching. Good times to all. Hey, Cosplay, before I finish up this video, I want to say thanks for everyone who likes and subscribes. But the people who comment, you guys have a special place in my heart. It really does keep me motivated. I don't know, I do try to talk to you a one-on-one, but maybe someday I'll have enough questions and so on to do like a regular Monday Q&A session like I used to. But for now, I just try and spread the information and love I have for all you cosplayers out there. I don't know if you know someone who needs help, if you see someone who could use a heads up and maybe is new to the cosplay community, maybe hasn't seen some of these kind of informational videos, let them know. It really helps me out. I'm gonna go make more vids, have some fun, make some stuff, do cosplay things. Thanks for watching, guys. Good times to all.